And welcome back to Real News Michiana's weekly Real News Roundup. I'm your host, Ben, and this vigilante, fact-wielding journalist who is the enemy of smug, groupthink, out-of-touch, woke school boards all over this region is Clifton French. He's none other than the editor and the founder of Real News Michiana. What's going on, Clifton?
Hey, Ben. Before we get started, today is going to be a roast of PHM schools. We both have children at PHM schools. But before we get started, everybody, please go to realnewsmichiana.com right now. Subscribe, 30 cents a day, $9 a month. That's how we're able to expose all the stuff that's going on. And honestly, Ben, PHM schools are some of the best in the state. What we're doing, the reason that I uncover and show all the bad stuff that's happening at the school is to make sure that it stays that way. Because if you don't, it's gonna go to crap, and it's already going to crap. This school district is going to hell in a handbasket, and it's because of a bunch of elitist, smug, pompous assholes who think that they know better than parents. That's it.
Yep, and thank you for exposing this, like you do pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Because it's your stories that they're obviously reading and they're responding to. It's keeping them on their toes. And it's going to help replace the school board. I got a feeling this coming November, we're going to have a whole new school board.
And I'm sorry, you know what? Jerry Thacker, Republican, okay? I know Jerry Thacker. I've liked Jerry Thacker. Jerry Thacker, shame on you. Shame on you, Thacker. You need to step down. You need to resign in disgrace. The entire board, the entire school board needs to resign in disgrace. And there are multiple people on that board who I considered acquaintances, friends, possibly, right? Nope, no longer. Leave. Step down. Do some good for your community instead of thinking that you're the arbiters of some sort of moral, beneficent value to parents, right? And to children. You're not. You're nothing. Step down and do the right thing.
Yeah, after this week, I feel like it's Bane trying to control Gotham City.
Yep.
Okay, this is insane. But let's get into the first story, and obviously it's the Andy Rutten show. So as many of you know, there was a school board meeting last Monday. I spoke as well twice. One of the deputies, we're going to get into this later, he works for a communist. He arrests a peaceful parent, Andy Rutten, at a PHM's board meeting because he was speaking, I guess, too long, but not really. I don't know. I mean, I guess they said he went over his time limit, but Ben, I did the video earlier. He actually didn't go over his time limit. So, what's going on with this, Clifton?
Well, Ben, first, I think we need to start out with playing video of the arrest.
Okay, so here it is.
Move on to Mr. Rutten.
Thank you, President Riley, Dr. Thacker, and the school board. I'm in general agreement with priorities for facility improvement, but I've prepared some concerns and questions that I would like to ask to present for discussion, and it's just a one-pager. Taxes are the rate times the assessment, and the tax amount has already been determined. Continue
Moving
to
on,
present.
Mr. Rutten, please take your seat. At this point, you're interrupting the school board meeting.
I'm prepared to do that right now. I'm prepared to do that right now.
To a seat, please?
I'm prepared to. I would like to just finish up my few bullet items here, and then in this special hearing.
Minutes have expired.
We'll
go virtually to
7 was presented.
Mr. Rutten, here are your choices.
I would like to stay and finish presenting, so I ask, please let me do that.
Next thing will be asking for you to leave.
So my choice is to either sit down or leave the room.
Yes. They asked you to stop, and now they're quietly asking you to sit down. So I'm asking you to sit down so they can move on.
But I would like to stay and continue to present.
They told you no. So.
Yep.
So please sit down. We need to move on to the next presenter. I've asked everybody, and everybody else has been respectful about the 3-minute limit. You've been given 3 minutes, which you've now exceeded.
This is a state procedure. A 3-minute limit is a pen procedure.
Choices are you can sit down and observe the 3-minute limit, or you can leave the room.
I choose to continue to
Deputy,
present my
I think he's made
testimony.
his decision.
Let's go.
We'll now go virtually to Mr. Dallas,
Can you-
please.
Okay, now Clifton, did he look like a violent,
Oh man,
violent
That guy is so correct.
extremist?
That guy is
He was accused of
the most mild-mannered parent I've ever met. Watch out.
He was accused of hijacking the school board meeting.
Watch out for this guy. Okay.
Oh, I know.
I mean, there are several arguments here, right? But the thing is, the context here is needed. Context for what Andy has done in the past is needed here. Okay. Andy, by the way, this parent, Andy Rutten, was trying to talk to the school board about their finances, right? And what he believes, and what more than likely is going to end up in tax hikes for everybody who lives in the PHM school district. Well, they didn't want to hear it. By the way, he was interrupted. Okay. Obviously, there was a question that was answered. That was a full 16 seconds of his time that was taken. And then he's told to leave, and he still has 16 seconds left, right? He's told to stop. Regardless, the whole thing is arbitrary because the school board lets people who they agree with talk for however long they want. It's somebody who they disagree with or who they want to silence that they don't.
You're looking at is the capital projects plan. That is not the overall facilities plan. That's just one piece of it. So that is what is potentially to be paid out of the
It
operation.
seemed like it was all of it, but I'll accept that for now. My third concern.
Expired, sir. Thank you. Expired, sir. Thank you.
Continue to present my testimony
Thank you.
here.
Thank you, Mr. Rutten. It's actually not testimony. You're not under oth. It's a public presentation.
I would like to
You were allotted
continue to
3 minutes.
present this
We'll move on
discussion
virtually.
for this special hearing.
So leave by them. This arrest is for trespass.
Okay.
They used to.
And
caring about someone else's feelings. And I believe that is what it is at the heart of it. And that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Going back in the Wayback Time Machine to March to last month, Andy had filed a complaint against the school district. You and I have talked about this, Ben, that the school district was found, PHM School District was found to be breaking the law by not having some meetings open to the public and not providing information about that. Guess what? That investigation for that complaint, or the investigation for that open door law violation, came from a complaint that was filed by this parent who they just arrested and tried to silence again. This parent also filed a complaint against Ms. Lucha Ramey, the PHM, the director of PHM Communications. Lucha Ramey, we'll get into more about her later. But everything was founded in the complaint that he had against her. PHM hates Andy Rutten because he has exposed them for what they are. He was about to expose them for some other things. They knew it, and they freaking had him arrested. Everybody on that board needs to resign. Everybody on that board, honestly, screw it, Ben. Let's have them arrested. Find somebody to arrest them. Find somebody to arrest them. That is what fascists do. That is what communists do. That is what dictators do. You silence the population because they are going to expose you for something that you are doing wrong.
That looked like a Gestapo enforcement of their brainwashed ideology. So they're trying to force us to believe that we're going to raise taxes. He exposed that you are raising taxes.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, here's a math lesson. Here's how much you're going to raise taxes. So Gestapo, get him at once.
Yep.
Arrest him, Gestapo. So they have their Gestapo go after this guy and arrest him.
Well, and,
it's an absolute disgrace.
I'll tell you, I've talked to several law enforcement officers. They look at the arrest and are like, listen, the arrest is clean. The arrest is clean, right? Okay, cool, fine. Shouldn't have been arrested. It goes against PHM. It goes against all of the PHM standards anyway. So PHM's policies are that you're to be escorted out, and before you're issued a trespass warning, or arrested or anything, you're supposed to have a sit down with the superintendent and then have a discussion with the superintendent about something. And then from there, and if it's not resolved, then you can be trespassed. They just broke all their own rules.
So let's go on to the next connected story. So the freedom-loving, transparency-producing school board at PHM, they also issued a trespassing warning to this parent, Andy Rutan. So now he can no longer, ever again, this year, I guess, step on school property.
So Ben, so this is going, I already really alluded to this, right? So he was arrested, then the very next day, they go and they serve him with this trespass warning, right? Now this trespass warning, by the way, goes against all of their standards. So according to PHM rules, in order for a trespass warning to be issued, you have to, once again, there needs to be a discussion between the parent and the superintendent, right? That was never done. Now I'm being told that that there is a meeting scheduled now for Tuesday, but they already issued this trespass.
You already did it.
I mean, so now you have to retract it, right? Like they are just making up the rules as they go because they don't like this guy exposing them. They don't like it. They don't like it at all.
Exactly. I mean, how else are we supposed to see it? How else are we supposed to see it? That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, you're not going to see it any other way because they're not going to be presenting any of this information to anybody. They're not. The parent has to, because the parent's the only one who's done the freaking work. I don't think anybody on the board even really freaking knows.
I think the board asked that guy, whoever their expert was, they asked him one question and he goes, "Come on now, that's a hard one." And he couldn't even answer it. It's about his predictions, right?
Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. If you want to see PHM turn into South Bend schools, you're watching it happen. You're watching it happen, and I guarantee it's happening a lot faster than it happened to South Bend schools.
Let's go on to the next story.
All right.
ABC 57. I believe that's an outlet you're somewhat familiar with, Cliff.
Yeah. By the way,
it runs the defense news, news episode for PHM. So they basically defended PHM kicking out this peaceful parent for giving him a deadly math lesson. Okay, so Ben, I want to tell you everything that we have said about Andy right now, about him exposing them for breaking the law, right? About filing that complaint, and then that state. That's the state coming down on PHM for breaking open door laws, right? All the documents for that easily accessible, okay? The documents for the complaints that he has made, easily accessible, okay? I'm just going to read you what ABC 57 wrote in this story. Mind you, nothing in this story is wrong, okay? So to speak. But nothing in this story is but no context is given in this story. You know what I mean? This is how the sausage is made, man. This is how it's made. This is how it starts. A man was arrested during a Penn Harris Madison special board meeting on Monday when he refused to release a microphone stand to the next speaker after his 3-minute time limit had expired. A recording of the board meeting caught the moment when a bailiff was forced to handcuff and arrest Anthony Rutan for disrupting the progression of Monday's meeting. Each community member that wishes to speak at PHM board meetings is limited to 3 minutes of presentation time in order not to derail or elongate meetings. Rutan was booked into the St. Joseph County Jail around 10 p.m. He was released 30 minutes later. Officials have not commented on whether Rutan will face charges for his actions. Tell me how one-sided that is ABC 57 writing a press release for PHM and doing zero work. I guarantee they had Lucha Ramey call over, say, "Hey, how should I write this?" Or Lucha sent them an email and said, "Hey, this is what you need to write." And they put it together. Mind you, the general manager of ABC 57, his name is Aaron Ramey, shares the same last name with Lucha Ramey, who is the PHM communications director. What?
Okay.
Yeah, don't say.
They're married. They are married. Aaron Ramey is in charge of all editorial content for PHM. Or not for PHM. He's in charge of all editorial content for ABC 57.
And PHM. Wink, wink.
Yeah, and PHM, his wife, is the communications director for PHM. Just putting
What an astounding coincidence.
Yeah, nobody else was that just complete. Oh my, like crazy. Nothing like that happened, right? Nothing like that happened from any other news outlet. All right, this is ABC 57 being the state media outlet for PHM. Period. Bar none.
Absolutely.
Also, Lucha Raby really hates Anthony Rutten. She really hates this parent because, once again, he filed a formal complaint against her for preventing people from speaking at board meetings in June of 2021. So everything comes back to this is complete retaliation against Andy. Complete retaliation against Andy. That's it. They hate him. They hate him because he's exposed them over and over and over. It's unreal, Ben. This whole thing is unreal, and it's deep and corrupt and swampier than freaking DC, man. It's disgusting.
ABC 57 needs an issue of retraction because, first of all, Andy Rutten did not break his 3-minute time limit.
He didn't.
The timekeeper made a mistake, so he did not speak for 3 minutes. So you can get
and I don't think the deputy was forced to do anything there.
No, he was basically listening to the people on the school board as if they were his bosses.
Yeah. Deputy was not forced to arrest anybody.
Nope,
he wasn't forced to put anybody in hand. I didn't see anybody going up to that deputy, holding a gun to his head and saying, "Hey, put handcuffs on this guy."
It was Chairman Thacker.
Yeah.
Have them be gone at once.
And
gone at once.
Thacker and Jerry just that. Oh my God. He sat there just smiling and then taking a little drink of his water. And Riley I'm sorry, just a pansy ass.
Calm down, breathe.
My God. What a bunch of punks. What a bunch of freaking punks.
Let's go on to the next story. PHM middle school teacher goes on racist rants.
Oh, and
we were just talking about her a little bit ago.
Yeah. Guess what? She's still employed. She still has a job. She's still dealing with your kids. She's still allowed on freaking PHM property, unlike a parent who was concerned about how money was being spent within the school district. So this is Danielle Cortez. Danielle Cortez is a radical. She is a communist. She has posted all kinds of things on social media and talking about what she does in the classroom. This is just the latest stuff that I've uncovered about her. One thing is talking about PHM's library. Okay. So PHM's library after the 2020 George Floyd death, right? PHM went on this whole we have to be, doing something because George Floyd was killed in Minnesota, right? So they apparently had put up a bunch of different sticky notes and posters saying racism, social justice, discrimination, diversity, all this stuff in the library. Well, Danielle decides to make comments about this on her social media saying, quote, "I wonder which one of these YTs is leading this discussion." It's YTS. It means whiteys. She's just calling white people whiteys. It is as racist as it gets. It's a racial slur against white people. Next, how about we just play the video real quick of her talking about how white authors can't write stories about people of color.
I have a little bit of well-intentioned advice for authors who choose to write diverse characters, specifically white authors, which is all good and great. We love to see diversity in our books, especially when the character's race and ethnicity is not central to the plot. Because if you're not of that race, you shouldn't be writing that story.
Okay, Ben, was that racist?
Yes.
Okay, done there. Let's move on. Let's move on. So there are stories I've done about her before, talking about protecting trans kids, right? She bragged on Twitter, on TikTok, about hiding the chosen pronouns and kids coming out as transgender to her from their parents. She is a middle school teacher. We're talking about 12-year-olds. She has also posted stuff on social media bragging about a 7th grader coming out to her as trans because she's pushing that on them. She is indoctrinating them in this radical gender theory. She also posted about ACAB, BLM, all of that stuff. All cops are bastards is what she was saying, right? And doing this with another teacher, mind you, at the school. She still works. Listen to me. She still works at PHM. I exposed this stuff in the fall. I exposed this stuff first in September, Ben. In September.
She shouldn't be allowed within 5 miles of a
She
school.
She shouldn't be allowed within this. She should not be allowed within 5 miles of a child. Of a child. She still works as a teacher at PHM Schools, Ben. But Andy Rutten, who was trying to talk about taxes, isn't allowed on school property anymore.
Yeah, he can't give the board a math lesson.
Nope.
No, that's too extreme. Good job, Penn Harris Madison School District. You guys are awesome. Keep shutting up parents. We believe you. Next story. And this is the last story. St. Joe County Sheriff attended a Help Not Handcuffs event. His deputy was the one that arrested Andy Rutten the other day.
Yeah. So help not handcuffs unless you're a Republican.
No shit.
That's it. Help not handcuffs unless you're conservative. Help not handcuffs unless you're not a communist and I disagree with you. If I disagree with you, then handcuffs all day. All day. That's exactly what this is. So
Clifton, but before we get into it, I want you to tell me real quick, what type of meeting was this?
All right.
What was the ideology behind this?
So Bill Redmond, he attended and spoke with at an event that was hosted by Faith in Indiana. It was on April 24th, the day before that school board meeting, right? So Faith in Indiana was hosting this event, and the theme was Help Not Handcuffs.
Now hold on. It sounds innocent, right?
Oh yeah,
like, to the mind that doesn't know any better. If you're neutral, you don't go either way. You think, oh yeah, help not handcuffs. That sounds great, Clifton. That sounds amazing. Now tell me what's it really about.
Yeah, Faith in Indiana is an open Marxist and Marxist communist organization. I'm just going to read you. So they're a part of Faith in Action. So Faith in Action is a national organization. Faith in Indiana is Indiana chapter, right? I'll just read this to you, and you can, it's communist, right? That's all it is. We believe in organizing. We believe organizing is the best way to address the spiritual and material crisis facing our society. It is the best tool we have for standing up to corporate interests profiting from racial and economic oppression and environmental destruction. That's from the Faith in Indiana, or the Faith in Action website. It goes on to create a new society based on equity, sustainability, and love. We need to build strong, multiracial, people-led organizations that relentlessly press for social change. It's commie. That's just break Marx down into 2 paragraphs. There you go. And that's what this organization is about. And so it's an anti-law enforcement, anti-American, pro-Marxist communist organization that our sheriff was just speaking at. Not only our sheriff, many other Democrats, and I'm going to call her out, Miss Linda Rogers, state senator, Republican, so to speak, was also there speaking. Linda, bad move. Bad move. Any other Republican goes to any event with this organization, I'm going to call them out by name. I'm going to make you look terrible because it's not good. It's not good. You are not a Republican. You are going to a Marxist event and supporting it. Shame on you. That's all I got, Ben. Sorry, I'm worked up today. So
it is what it is. Well, that wraps up our weekly news roundup.
Yeah, everybody, please go to realnewsmichiana.com right now. Hit that subscribe button to help us keep exposing what's going on, because obviously you're not going to hear it anywhere else.
Especially with ABC 57. We got somebody has to expose these scumbags. And that wraps up our stories for this week, Clifton. And as always, stay informed, folks.